Hey there, thanks for joining us for the Big Time Talker podcast. I'm Burke Allen. If you hear lots of noise in the background, that's because we're inside the glass-enclosed nerve center at the American Library Association's annual conference and exhibition in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. The podcast pavilion is sponsored by the Next Generation Indie Book Awards, Headline Books, and their Zoom into Books platform, and SpeakerMatch.com, the world's largest online virtual speakers bureau. If you're an award-winning author, or maybe you're a speaker and you need a platform, well, meeting planners are going to look for you there at SpeakerMatch.com. All right. A.Marc Ross is in the booth, and his new book, Attacking the Dragon, named runner-up at the 2025 Beach Book Festival, honorable mention at the San Francisco Book Festival. It's set for release soon. A.Marc Ross is in the broadcast pavilion with us. Congratulations on all of this. This is big stuff.
Thanks, Burke. Appreciate it, and good to be with you.
The new book, Attacking the Dragon. Tell me about it.
Okay. The dragon is a reference to China. And unlike most books about China and warfare things, China's the villain. Here, China is under attack, and it's being attacked by a secret group of terrorists seeking to damage the Chinese Communist Party and China's global growth by destroying various projects they're doing in Africa and other parts of the world. And Americans get dragged into it, and it's an intense hunt and chase for the villains.
When is the book released?
The book should be out in August.
Available now for pre-order?
Pre-order available at Headline Books and on Amazon.
By trade, you are an attorney.
I am, and I've actually spent a lot of time in China over the years as an attorney, and so the book has a lot of the places that I've been to, so it gives you a feel for that, and a lot of the characters are based upon Chinese people, government officials, and Chinese business executives that I've met over the years, although I've changed their names to protect them.
To protect the innocent, it's like dragging.
Or the guilty, actually, in this case.
Some of that, huh?
Yes.
So what do people in the United States that maybe have never traveled to China, what do they get wrong about the country and the people there?
Well, I think one of the things is the assumption that China is what the Chinese government and the Chinese Communist Party projects it outward to be. The truth of the matter is, though, that if you go there and meet the people are very, very nice. I have found them to be incredibly gracious. They have always been very friendly to Americans. Now, whether that has changed a little in the last few years with things that have gone on, that's possible, but they've always been very nice. A very large percentage of the professional adult population speaks English, so it's not hard to get around, and they understand if you don't speak Mandarin.
Do you worry at all with this book coming out that in the political climate of 2025 that you might be tagged as, a Chinese sympathizer, or that you're rooting for the bad guys?
No. If anything, I worry about China putting me on one of their lists.
Now, what do you mean by that? What are your list?
I go to China, and I'm known there.
Right.
And I've been nothing but accepted there. And unless they read the book carefully, they're going to see, I've got a number of the villains in the book are Chinese. Nobody is real. No, there are bad people on all sides of this. But no, there's nothing here that comes across as being sympathetic to China. It's a straight factual thing in that sense.
Is this a thriller? Is it an action book? How do you get people to turn the page? I would
call it a political thriller with a great deal of action in it. We've got explosions, we've got murders, we've got killings, attacks, beatings. You name it, we got it.
So you spent a lot of time there, you said.
Yes.
So that's part of the research, I guess, from memory. But how do you research a book like this? Because clearly there are things that, as a mild-mannered attorney, you've never dealt with in person. Let's hope there aren't a lot of explosions in your backyard.
No, thank God not. But part of the research, and I'm not giving away much here, is involved with Chinese steel production. And China is the largest producer of steel in the world, but they do not have the reputation of making the best steel.
Okay.
So I had to, for purposes of this book, research how you make steel and how they make steel in China. And then if you want to play games with the steel and perhaps make it not quite everything it should be, how do you do that? So that was research.
As an attorney, you I'm sure in your legal career have done a lot of legal research, and this is part and parcel of what you do for a living. Being an author researcher, that's a little bit of a different game. I'm curious as to whether that's a fun part of being an author, is the background or research, or is that part that you have to slog through?
You have to slog through it, but these days with the internet, the ability to find what you need pretty quickly is truly fabulous. And I'm working on another book, for instance, where I found everything I needed about post-colonial America just in a few hours online. It's really available, and I wonder how people managed to do it once upon a time before this.
Yeah, I'm sure it was much more laborious,
Yes.
right, before you could Google everything.
You got it.
What do you hope the ideal reader will be when this book comes out? In your mind's eye, you see somebody, it's nominated for this Beach Book Festival award. Who is it that's got their toes in the sand, drinking a pina colada,
Right.
reading your book?
Well, there will certainly be people like that. I think anyone who enjoys thrillers, anyone who has any sort of interest in what's going on in the world, because this gives a good perspective of that, will enjoy it. Actually, I'm already getting a very strong response from book clubs who are interested, because it raises a lot of interesting issues that you can discuss. And I'm already set up now to speak either in person or by Zoom at several book clubs to discuss the book.
Since you spent time in the country and you did all the research for this book, I want to ask you about the back and forth between the White House and China over this tariff war, and get your take on that as somebody who's done a lot of business over there.
Right. Well, I think it is changed. When I was mainly going there were very good relations between the countries. When Xi came in and with Trump, and I'm not taking political positions, I'm just trying to state the facts here, things got tenser. And right now the tariffs have cut down a lot of people's ability to do business. I know people who are small businesses who import from China, and it's not only the tariffs cost them money, but they don't know whether the tariffs are going to go up or down. So there's tremendous uncertainty for them in terms of how to order goods. They don't know what the price is going to be and whether they can pass it along or not. So it's a real problem.
What was your take on the Chinese reaction to COVID and what actually happened with all that?
I have no better idea than anybody else as to what the real cause was. I think China's approach was an extreme position, but being an authoritarian state, they have the ability to impose that in a way that we don't. And no one really knows how many Chinese people died from COVID, so we're not really in a position to judge whether their approach was more effective or not.
So you spent a lot more time in country than I have. I spent some time primarily in Shanghai, which is a huge metropolitan city.
Yes.
Not terribly different than other huge international metropolitan cities. From the time that you have spent there, you said the Chinese people are very friendly to you, very kind, but you also mentioned the authoritarian state. Did you see signs of that authoritarianism when you were in country that just made you take pause and go, wow, I'm glad I'm in America?
Well, I am certainly glad I am in America.
Yeah.
So let's have no doubt about that. Interestingly, what you see less of is armed police. You don't see that. What you do see, though, and what you know, is that there are cameras everywhere.
Right.
And now a lot of those cameras are connected with facial recognition systems. In addition, money is virtually stopped being used. People pay for everything via their phone and apps, and therefore that leaves a complete trail of where they are, and the government is monitoring all that. And anything you do, you go to a hotel, the government is aware where you are. They can see that. You buy a train ticket, they know about it. So in that sense, the control is always there, and they can always step in when they want to.
Do you have any concerns about Chinese technology and bots and their AI, soaking up our intellectual property here?
China has always looked to get a hold of U.S. technology, and that is going to continue. That's not going to change. And I think that to the extent we don't maintain very, very strong counter hacking and counter, cyber attacks and stuff, we are endangering ourselves, and we very much have to protect against that.
I wonder what Chinese Americans will think about attacking the dragon, about your new book.
I think that they would like it and agree with it. I think they would find it very on point, and my own in-laws are in the, my son's in-laws are in the Chinese American community, and we'll see.
So they haven't read it yet?
No, they have not read it yet, and it'll be interesting to get their reaction.
The new book is Attacking the Dragon. It's racking up the awards before the book has even been released. It is available for pre-order now at Amazon.com. You can get it at BarnesandNoble.com, Walmart.com, all those places.
No, just at the moment, just Amazon.com and Headline Books.
Got it. And the official release date is?
Mid-August.
Mid-August. So it's coming up.
Yep.
Are you nervous? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I love it. I love this whole thing.
Well, we're excited to have you here. We wish you all the best with Attacking the Dragon.
Thank you so much.
That's award-winning author A.Marc Ross in the Podcast Pavilion at the American Library Association's annual conference in Philadelphia. Hey, thanks to the Next Generation Indie Book Awards, to Headline Books and their Zoom Into Books platform, and to SpeakerMatch.com, as well as our producer Joseph, who runs the controls here at the Podcast Pavilion at the American Library Association conference. That's it for today's Big Time Talker podcast. Thank you for listening. Now go out and make it a great day. Bye, everybody.